The 1176 is one of the most popular vocal compressors of all time, used by many award-winning producers, and in this video I'm going to show you how it works so you can level up your own vocal productions. First, let's talk about what is compression. Compression is a tool that we use to minimize the dynamics in audio. Naturally, when people sing, you're going to notice that some parts of a performance may be louder than others, and what a compressor does is grab the loudest and quietest parts, bring them closer together, and give you a more balanced performance. In addition to that, compressors are known to add a little bit of color and characteristic to the sound. The 1176, for example, is known to be very fast and aggressive, and is known to add a little bit of a punch to your recording. And in today's tutorial, I'm going to be using the Universal Audio plugin that came with my Apollo Twin, but feel free to follow along with any plugin emulation of the 1176. So this is what the plugin looks like. Going from left to right, you have your input and output knobs. These are going to control the signal coming into the recording before the compression and after the compression is applied. Then you have attack, which means how fast the compression is going to turn on. Release, which is how fast it's going to turn off. 1 being the slowest and 7 the fastest settings. And then you have ratio, which means how much compression will be applied. In general, when it comes to vocals, 4:1 is a great starting point, and most producers use this setting, but feel free to experiment because this compressor goes all the way up to 20:1. So first, let's have a listen to this vocal track without any compression applied so we can have a bass line to go off of.
I like the way that you move around between the sheets, calling me out. And by the time the sun goes down, I've given you all my love, yeah.
So now let's turn on the compressor, and step number 1 is to play with the input knob until you see the meter hit about 5 dB of reduction on average, and then you want to move the output signal to level match before the compression was applied. Because the goal here is not to add or take away volume, you just want the vocal to sit more forward into your mix. And in regards to the actual attack and release settings, after watching countless videos and studying different producers, the consensus that I found is that most people tend to favor a slow attack and a fast release for the 1176. Greg Wells, for example, is a Grammy Award-winning producer that has worked with many big-name artists such as Adele, Katy Perry, Michael Bublé, John Legend, and many others. Stated in this video, his go-to settings is to have the slowest attack and fastest release. So let's have a listen to the same vocal take but with these settings.
And by the time we get to rest, I've given you all my love. I like the way that you move around between the sheets, calling me out. And by the time the sun goes down, I've given you all my love, yeah.
And by the way, if you're getting value out of today's content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Another very popular setting with the 1176 is known as the Dr. Pepper setting, which is having the attack on 10 o'clock, the release on 2 o'clock, and a 4:1 ratio. So let's have a listen to that as well.
I like to watch you get undressed, the things you say once you're in my bed. And by the time we get to rest, I've given you all my love. I like the way that you move around between the sheets, calling me out. And by the time the sun goes down, I've given you all my love, yeah.
Moving on, now let me share with you my own personal favorite settings. In general, I like to leave the attack on 3 and the release all the way up to 7 and have a 4:1 ratio.
And by the time we get to rest, I've given you all my love. I like the way that you move around between the sheets, calling me out. And by the time the sun goes down, I've given you all my love, yeah.
And even though you can get great results just with the 1176 by itself, if you want to take your recording one step further, then make sure to click on this video, and I'm going to show you my entire vocal chain for tracking vocals.